Okay, so I normally do not do things by myself. I like to be with the group, man. I like to conversate amongst people and have a good conversation among the bros or amongst anybody. I'm normally not the guy that likes to just talk to himself. But today, man, got something on my mind, so I got to vent. I got to get it off my chest. And it's about this election, man. It's about this election. So when it comes to my politics, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I like to think of myself as I'm a Christian black man in America, and whatever candidate aligns with my mindset in terms of just biblically thinking and just I feel best fits my lifestyle and the choices I'm trying to make in life. That's what I'm real with. Point blank, period. I don't show favoritism to any side, even though for me as a Christian man, it's hard to rock with one side. I'm not gonna say names, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, I've heard my parents say certain things, saying I have to exercise my right to vote. And let me be clear: when you have a right to do something, that doesn't mean you have to. Like I have a right to go eat McDonald's every day. I have the freedom to do that. I can do that if I want to. But keyword, if I want to. If I don't feel like eating McDonald's every day, I have the right not to eat McDonald's every day. If I feel like I want to, I have that right. And with voting, it's the same thing. It's not mandatory. It's an option. I understand that my ancestors fought for the right to vote because back in the day they didn't have that right. And that was something they wanted to have. They wanted their voice to be heard. They live in America. They contribute to the economy and to the society. And they want to be able to speak their truth and have influence. And the vote was a tool to do that. So I applaud and I respect them for doing that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that because they did that, I'm obligated to go to the polls every time it's an election. No. If I'm not feeling either candidate or I feel as though either candidate doesn't align with my personal beliefs, I have the right to not vote. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to stand on that every day against anybody. But the one thing I would like to see with American politics is I would really like to see this two-party system go away and candidates stand on their own morals and what they have planned to do for this country and not hide behind a party. In my life, I'm not a part of a fraternity. I'm not in no gang. So when somebody see me and let's say I was hypothetically with a certain group, they could attribute things that are part of that group to me. But the way I live my life, you can't do that. And I'm a Christian man, so it's certain things, if you open up the Bible and you want to attribute to me, I have to take that. There's certain things I struggle with as a man, as a husband. Well, you're supposed to be a Christian, you ain't doing that. Yeah, you're right. I need to do a better job with that. So I'll live by those critiques. But in terms of other things, I'm not a part of none of that. So I can't be accompanied with that stuff. I have to stand on my own 10 toes. And I feel like these politicians need to do that. Trump need to do that. Kamala Harris need to do that. What is your stance on this? What is your stance on this? I don't want to hear about what Democrats say about it. What do you say about it? I don't want to hear about what Republicans say about it. Where do you fall on it? What is your moral guidance? What governs your life? What inspires you to make certain decisions you make? How are those decisions going to help me, somebody who's a blue collar worker, has a wife and 2 kids, and is trying to provide and protect? What are you going to do to help me keep doing that going forward? And I feel like neither candidate has addressed that. And as a tax-paying American citizen, I have the right to say, I'm not satisfied, so I'm not going to the polls until somebody speaks to my situation and my interests and my family's interests. So I will stand on 10 toes every day to defend my right to either not vote or go vote. It's a right at the end of the day. And I shouldn't be judged or looked down upon just because I don't want to exercise a right. I have a right to vote. It's not like taxes where I'm obligated to pay taxes. If not, I go to jail. That's not the case. And I feel like that needs to be talked about today. I feel like in America, telling the truth, I feel like if you do that, you got to be willing to stand alone. You got to be willing to hear backlash. You got to be willing to take jokes. You got to be willing to take criticism. You got to be willing to be isolated at times for certain truths. And I'm willing to do that. You know, I was born to be myself. If I believe in something, stand on it. People could laugh. People could make fun of you. All that, man. At the end of the day, man, as long as you can look up and pray to God for guidance and feel comfortable about your decision, man, you're going to be all right. And to the young people today, man, hear my message, man. Don't be afraid to stand on truth, even if you stand it alone, especially young people of the black community. You know, you might have a belief system that's foreign to the status quo. Man, don't be afraid to stand on your toes. That builds character and that shows who you are as a person. So yeah, man, I just had to get that off my chest. This election cycle, you know, whoever wins, wins in my book. You're not going to hear me complain about the results because I got too much stuff to worry about. I got a family to worry about, my wife, my kids. I got a job I got to work every day. I don't have time to be complaining. I really don't. If I have an issue, I pray on it. I speak to my wife and we brainstorm and we keep moving. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts. I ain't mean to take y'all off on a tangent, man, but I was just feeling that today. And to my sister and Rob, y'all wild, man. I put a simple status on Facebook and it turned into a whole war. So I would just tell the both of y'all to chill and relax, man. It's going to be people out there who don't agree with you. You got to be willing to just accept that. You know, that's what he believes. That's what I believe. And stop things before they get disrespectful. Before you can see that the back and forth isn't going nowhere and just be like, okay, that's how they feel. It's not going to affect my day. It is what it is. So y'all wild, man. But it's cool to have that conversation and that feedback and to know that people do care. So, man, I just pray that God touches this country, man, and is with us all at the end of the day, man, because outside of the political stuff, we each got lives to live. And that's what people need to remember, man. When all this election stuff is over and a candidate is picked for president, we got to go back to our lives. So we shouldn't be so caught up in all this stuff and forget about what the reality is. And that's what we're trying to do over here, man. So I love y'all. Hope this helps somebody. I'm out. I'm about to go back upstairs and chill with the daughters before bedtime and my wife. So y'all take it easy, man. I'm out.